This is Shelley Kraft, and welcome to SNNLive. We're at the Cambridge International Energy and Resource Investment Conference here in Calgary 2013. I have here Scott Bolton of CanAm Coal Corp, symbol COE on the TSX Venture, and in the U.S. its ticker is COECF. Welcome to SNNLive.
Shelley, thanks for having me.
Okay, please give us an overview of your company.
Well, we're based in Calgary, CanAm Coal, Canadian-American coal, but we're a producing operating company with principal operations in northern Alabama. So Calgary-based, but with production in Alabama, in the United States.
So let's see, Calgary, Alabama, Calgary. That's not a normal trip for coal, one would think. Am I correct?
That's true, although as a broad comment, I will tell you that coal is an international business. It's an energy business, and Calgary is an energy center, as you know, and coal is part of the mix up here just as much as oil and gas, and so in that sense it's not so unreasonable. And you know, like many businesses, we've been built through a series of events that have occurred, and in our case it was the team in Calgary being down in Alabama on other business, and eventually meeting local folks, building a business, and here we are today with a sizable operation operating in both centers.
So, you said production, which means you're not an exploration company.
No, we're not an exploration company. We're always looking for new reserves as you got to continue to build out your runway. That's how the business works. But no, we're a producing company. We've got 5 mines. We've got 1 that's permitted and almost producing. And no, we're a significant coal producer in today's market and hoping to grow and take the business higher.
So people say that coal companies are today also energy companies. So who is your offtake to? And for instance, obviously you're probably selling to local energy companies. I'm just taking a wild guess.
Yeah, well, wild guess, but a good guess. No, in fact, you know, we have sold into the international market and likely will in the future, but for now at least, our customer complement is entirely in the southern U.S. region. We do sell into the power company, as most coal producers do. We're in the thermal coal business primarily, I should clarify. But we also have a very strong mix of industrial customers as well, Shelley, that gives us a diversity, a customer diversity, which in any business is important. So
that's really well thought out on your all's part. So when will you have your official Southern accent?
I'm working on it all the time, you know, or y'all.
Not your Southern Canadian accent. I'm talking about your Southern U.S. accent.
My Southern U.S. accent is a work in progress. I don't even think I qualify as a Southern Canadian yet. But I'm getting them in the Birmingham office to say "a." I think I'm having more success there than they are with me.
That's funny. Okay, what's your background?
I'm a financial guy. I'm really in the U.S. equivalent of a CPA. I spent my career with Price Waterhouse, so I'm you know, a financial guy, accountant who joined the company. I'm the CFO, so really I bring the financial acumen, or I'd like to think so anyway, to the company.
So important enough is the price of coal going up or down, and why?
Well, I'll answer the question, but the caveat being that if I really knew the answer, we wouldn't be interviewing. I'd be somewhere else on a beach. I mean, it's coal's no different than oil and gas or any other commodity. Predicting the future is a mug's game. But you've asked the question, so I'll answer it and say that I think that we've reached a point of stability. There is some historical evidence now of several months, maybe even a year that's gone by, where we've seen the coal market stabilize. It's been a tough market, and I'm not suggesting that it's going to turn around quickly, but I do see some signs of life that we could see some price improvement over time. But I think it's going to remain a challenging market. But I'll answer that, and that's the North American answer. More broadly, globally, coal is still growing in demand. And I think from a pricing point of view that's going to be good news, or is a good news story long term. So I think, you know, as we get talking about the Asian market, for example, I think you could very much see prices increase.
Well, you know, as an energy source, look at the price of oil. Right. I mean, obviously, oil is too expensive to burn. Yeah. Am I right or wrong? And there is controversy regarding uranium and nuclear generated power. So, and I like the fact that you diversify. Tell me what kind of industries use your product.
Well, it runs the gamut in the industrial market, manufacturing sectors, commercial production. It's companies in the lime production business, for example, use us. Companies in the paper markets use us. Companies that make plastic manufacturing processes use us. So it depends on their particular business application. It isn't so much industry specific, our coal, but I think they are all looking for the same thing, these customers, and that is good quality coal that meets environmental standards and obviously meets the technical specifications of the business application.
Is that called clean coal?
Yeah, it is called clean coal. Is that the right term to use? I'm not a marketing guy, I'm the finance guy, but I will say this, I think our business strategy is really tailored towards developing coal reserves that are lower in the particulates that the regulators and indeed industry and all of us are concerned with, so that, with the coal we burn in the future, yes, is going to be much cleaner than it is today, and that's the type of coal we're going to be producing.
Website?
Yeah, it's CanAmCoal.com. So yeah.
CanAmCoal.com. It's easy. CanAm Coal COAL.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Bolton, CanAm Coal Corp, symbols COE on the TSX Venture. U.S. symbol COECF. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're at the Cambridge House International Energy and Resource Investment Conference here in Calgary. Thank you, Scott, for coming on to SNNLive.
Shelley, it's my pleasure, and thank you for having me.